Please put your hands together. Big round of applause for your host, Mayor John Giles.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. I am John Giles, and as I explained earlier, I'm the substitute teacher that was assigned to this class for today because your normal instructor, Mark Cordes, is stuck on a cruise ship. Poor Mark, right? I mean, aren't we? Let's cry tears for Mark. Mark, as you know, is a professional comedian, and his day job is to entertain folks on cruise ships. And because of the recent hurricanes in the Caribbean, Mark is literally stuck on a cruise ship. And so I'm sure he's heartbroken that he's not with us today, but we'll just have to get by with me. I'm sorry about that. Let's offer prayers for Mark, but at the same time, Mark is going to be back in the Mesa Art Center in October. He's got a great show called The Spouse Whisperer. Those of you with spouses might want to come and learn more about that. And he's also a big supporter of the Mesa Chamber of Commerce. So on the night of October the 10th, there's going to be a chamber event associated with Mark's show, and we'd encourage you to particularly come out and participate in that and support the chamber. Also today, we need to thank our sponsors that are making this event possible. The behind-the-scenes sponsors for today's show are Alpha Graphics, Gateway Bank, Yvonne Martinez Photography, Cobblestone Auto Spa, and the International Minute Press. And those of you that were with us this morning had a delicious breakfast provided by Artistic Touch Catering. So thank you to our great sponsors. Also, as you leave today, it's important that you get one of the great bags that are being passed out as you leave. There's a lot of cool swag and a lot of cool samples that are in that bag and from Mesa Chamber members. And the bags this month are sponsored by our good friends at Mesa Community College. So thank you, Mesa Community College, for doing that. Also, for those of you who, maybe a few of you brought cell phones today, there's a hard and fast rule that we don't like the show interrupted with cell phone rings. So if you could do us a favor and turn those off or turn them down. And there's a kind of a rule that if your phone does go off, that's a $20 donation to the United Food Bank. So the last time I was on the show, Dave Richens was calling me while I was on the show trying to get my phone to go off so that he could, that's not a joke, that's actually happened. So if you like, so Dave will be calling everyone in the audience, so please turn your phones off. All right, well, thank you for the preliminaries. Now we're going to get right down to it. We've got some really fascinating folks to talk to today. Our first guest is Cindy Orenstein from the Mesa Art Center. We are so fortunate to be in the Mesa Art Center today, and I'm so glad that Cindy's here to talk to us more about the Mesa Art Center. Cindy. How are you, my friend? Good to see you.
So good to see
you. Bet. All right, so...
Good morning.
Good morning. I've got a question just to get things rolling. Cindy, I've heard your name pronounced a couple of different ways. And just for once and for all on television, let's put that behind us. It is Cindy.
Yes.
Okay.
And it is Ornstein.
Ornstein.
I tell people to think
of
they can think of Einstein or Frankenstein, whichever they
Yes.
prefer.
Well, yeah. So sometimes, the uninformed, I thought an Ornstein, and it just hurts my ears. So I want to make sure.
I'm used to it.
Let's put it out there. Well, I'm used to different ways people pronounce names too. So Cindy, the Mac. We all love the Mac. This is you're probably getting tired of me telling people that if you live in Mesa and you're not a regular attender at the MAC, you really are missing out. That one of the best reasons to live in Mesa is to come to the MAC and enjoy the great shows and the great visual arts that's here as well. So today is a special day for the MAC because we're launching. Why is today a big deal at the MAC?
Yeah, we're kicking off our season today, and we'll have our amazing season kickoff festival tonight. I know the people on television will be seeing this after it's over, but for those of you in the audience, you should come out tonight, 6 to 10 p.m. to enjoy an amazing festival. And I think, yeah, you can see a slide with Flourish, the Art of Life on Earth. And it's a fantastic opportunity for people to see what we offer and also to celebrate the amazing flora and fauna of our planet and what it means to live well on this planet and preserve it. So There's going to be all kinds of really exciting things to do. 3 stages going, 5 exhibitions opening, which we'll talk about in a minute. People can see demonstrations in our studios, and our studios are a fantastic thing for people to think about all year round taking classes in, but people can see demonstrations tonight. There'll be so much going on, hands-on activities, food, so if you missed it, sorry, but if you're here tonight, you don't have to miss. This morning, you don't have to miss it, so come join us.
So even if somebody's watching this a day or two from now and they missed the event tonight, I think people sometimes don't really grasp how many performances there are at the MAC. In a given year, what's the average number of performances that are going on?
So there's literally hundreds of performances. The shows that we put on ourselves performing live generally is about 60 to 80 shows, and then there's literally hundreds of shows when you add in the founding resident companies and all of the renters and the producers that have shows here. So something to do all the time.
I was in a meeting once, and I think that the number of events at the Mesa Art Center in a year is over 600. So literally, you
600 to 800.
You can't come here and see it dark. It is happening every single night at the Mesa.
Yes, and on the weekends, it's not unusual to find as many as all 4 theaters going at once.
So who are some of the big? What are some of the things you're excited for this performing season?
There's really an amazing array of artists in this season. I'm particularly excited about Mandy Patinkin coming. Some of you may know him from Criminal Minds or Homeland on television, but he is a renowned star on Broadway and an amazing singer.
A great voice,
great voice and wonderful performer. So, and we've never had him here before, so we're really excited about that. We're welcoming back the virtuoso violinist Yitzhak Perlman, one of the best opera singers in the world, Renee Fleming. We have the incredible jazz bass player, Stanley Clark, coming. We have Leela Downs. We have the Ballet Folklorico. We have so much going on. An amazing classical music Inside Out series for seeing all kinds of different ensembles and classical music, really a wide array. Somebody that I'm really excited about too is Dorrance Dance. They're a tap group that is really hot right now, being talked about all over the country, and we're really excited to welcome them to Mesa.
So if I just heard you talk about one of my all-time favorite, and several, I mean, really, you got a lot of household names you just threw out there, and I want to get tickets, I want to come and experience that. How do I do that? How do I get a ticket?
Probably the easiest way is mesaartscenter.com, but you can also come to the campus and go to our box office, or you can call them and talk to them in person at 480-644-6500.
Okay, so the Mesa Art Center is not just about performing arts. We've got great theaters here, and they're all between a 1,600-seat theater to the one we're now. I mean, they kind of graduate. We've got 3 or 4 great theaters, but it's not just performing arts. It's also visual arts. Tonight, tell us about the visual arts here.
So we are opening 5 new exhibitions tonight. We usually open our exhibitions in a staggered fashion throughout the year, but this is the only time in the year when we open all 5 galleries at the same time around a theme. And their theme is the inspiration for the umbrella theme for our season kickoff. So all of the exhibitions opening are around the theme flora and fauna, plants and animals, and they are amazing. There's one of the featured exhibitions is the photography of Joel Sartori, who will be one of the speakers in our National Geographic Live series this year, and has done something quite extraordinary. It's called Photo Arc, which is, he set out to do photographs of every endangered species on the planet, and these photos are amazing. And then there's Roberto Benavides with his fantastical beast piñatas he makes these art piñatas that are not real animals, but maybe made up of different parts of real animals. They're quite extraordinary. There's a show by Carol Eckert and Mary Myers. The group show, Flora and Fauna, features about 25 artists with different things around the theme flora and fauna, and it's free all the time, open every day but Monday, open late on Thursday, so people should come out and really enjoy that museum.
You used a great word a moment ago, which was free. So all of these great art galleries that we have here, you don't pay a ticket. If you're if you have a pulse and you walk in the room, welcome to the Mesa Art Center Contemporary Arts Gallery. And they're amazing, world-class art shows. You mentioned, and also I want to talk about the gift shop. Has kind of been closed for a little bit, but it's not just a gift shop. It's not just like postcards of downtown Mesa. Tell us about the gift shop. It's amazing.
That's right. We're really proud of the gift shop. I think it's the best place in the Valley to buy unique, original gifts for people because it's all original artists from Arizona, and it's an artist cooperative gallery. So every artist showing in the gift shop is an artist making handmade original work, and there's a variety of work shown, everything from painting to glass and metal and handmade cards and ceramics. And there's usually an artist demonstrating when the shop is open, and it reopens with the season kickoff. So it's open for the public, and it's a great place to buy gifts. And 20% of every sale supports our engagement and education programs here at Mesa Arts Center.
Well, Cindy, I wish we could talk for hours, and I think people would love to know more about the Mesa Art Center, but the best way to learn about the Mesa Art Center is to come to the Mesa Art Center.
Absolutely.
Your quality of life will be in direct proportion to the amount of time you spend at the Mesa Art Center.
Yes,
so
come visit us.
please do. All right, everyone,
Great.
Cindy Orenstein.
Thank you.
Cindy.
Thanks so much.
We really do love this building, and it's such a great asset for the city of Mesa. I hope, in all sincerity, if you haven't spent time here, you need to change and spend more time at the Mesa Art Center. Next is the segment that's called the Mystery Guest. So I'm sure you're getting excited about this. Each month, we showcase a member in a segment we call the Mystery Guest. And this month, our mystery guest is Hell Opponents. We met some folks from Hell Opponents a little earlier, and we're pleased to have Chad Barta from Hell Opponents come and tell us a little bit more about that business. Chad?
He stays a stranger.
Chad, thanks for being here.
Nice to meet you.
Have a seat. Okay, Chad, I know we all know that aerospace is a huge part of the Mesa economy.
Yep.
And Falcon Field is a real jewel in our community. And I think you are in the Falcon Field area, right?
That's correct.
And tell us what you do.
Right now, Hell Opponents is a aircraft and helicopter repair facility and overhaul. We do have one of the fuel concessions for Falcon Field. So we do Jet A fuel sales also.
Okay.
We're a Phillips 66 branded vendor out there at the field. So we deal with, as you can imagine, the helicopters in the local area flying in. Aircraft, we spread out, the circle gets bigger of our customers. And then for our overhauls of the helicopter drivetrain, that really goes worldwide, goes international.
Okay.
So our components end up.
So we've got several of it. Are you an OMR, overhaul maintenance repair?
OEM?
OEM?
No, not anymore. We used to be, but now it's not a requirement. We're FAA certificated repair station, so.
If I've got a helicopter, you're one of the places that's got the credentials.
I'm the place to come.
Okay.
Yep, if you're at Falcon Field, absolutely.
Now, and you guys are also great community people. I understand you're going to partner with the chamber on an event coming up in the near future?
Yeah, we are. It's kind of a great year for us. We're coming up on 30 years for Hell Opponents being in business, and this happens to be the 10-year anniversary for Aviation Fascination for the Mesa Chamber. So it's a great timing for us to partner up. So yeah, we're going to host that this year.
Thank you for doing that. I've been to Aviation Fascination. It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
I mean, there's wall-to-wall people at Falcon.
There is, and there's a ton of great people tied up with that, you know, with Boeing and MD and Mesa Chamber, and we're also taking the donations for United Food Bank at that night too. So, and all the other, you know, sponsoring companies donating for free. You know, we mentioned free earlier. It's a free event for Mesa. Well, anybody really that wants to attend. Mm-hmm. So it's a great, like you said, aviation in Mesa is pretty hot between Gateway and Falcon.
Well, and you guys are a great story too, because helicopters are such a big deal in Mesa. I mean, between MD and Boeing with the Apache, I mean, we see a lot more helicopters, I think, in the air in Mesa than you do in
Yeah,
cities.
we do. And anybody that lives actually in that Falcon Field area, it's like an air show every day.
Yeah.
It really, because you watch those helicopters and you see Commemorative Air Force and it just picks up as the winter comes, you know. So yeah, it's great.
Well, when is Aviation fest?
I believe it's the 22nd of November.
Okay, it's coming up. So
Yeah,
this fall.
it's creeping up.
Okay.
We're on the east side of the field, so you would come into our facility from what used to be the old Anzio's Landing restaurant.
Sure, right.
So you'd come in from that side off of Higley. Yeah, and we have a great view of the airport. Everything's just right on the runway, so.
Well, thank you for being such a great community member. Thank you for being a great supporter of the chamber, and I'm sure that you'll see thousands of us, come and give you a handshake.
I hope so. Come out and
22nd.
visit and see. It's going to be a great event. We're excited.
All right, well, thank you very much. Appreciate getting to know more about you and your business.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you. Have a great day. All right. Well, you guys are going to really enjoy our next guest. This is a segment called Community Spotlight, and I'm pleased to welcome to the stage from the Cub Scout Day Camp program and the Boy Scouts of America, Amy Mankey. Amy. Thanks for being here, Amy. Grab a seat. Okay, now, Amy, I have spent a lot of time at Boy Scout day camps and Boy Scout camp outs, and I don't ever remember seeing anybody that looked remotely like you there. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm a mom, so
yes,
that's how I
great.
got there.
So thank you for what I'm trying to say in my awkward way is I'm so glad that you're involved in Boy Scouts.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So tell me, the Cub Scout Day Camp program, which you are in charge of, tell us more about that. What age scouts are those?
So those go for our Lions, which are our kindergartners, all the way through our We Below Twos, our Arrow of Lights, and those are our fifth graders.
That's great. And there's been, Boy Scouts has evolved over the years, and so now we include girls.
We do welcome girls.
Okay. So a lot of, and that's for all ages, correct? So
Yes.
like the kindergarten kids, when you're doing a day camp, that includes boys and girls.
Yes, it does.
That's great. So you mentioned you're a mom. Is that what prompted you to do this?
I started in Boy Scouts when my son was a Cub Scout, when he was a Tiger in first grade. And I started as a den leader because no other parents would step up to do it. And it sort of evolved over the last 6 years. My son is now in a troop. So he's in sixth grade now. So he goes, doesn't need mom that much anymore for Boy Scouts.
No, trust me, he still needs mom, I'm sure.
But he gets to go with other boys and the leaders to do a lot of very cool stuff.
Well, the story you just told about, I did it because nobody else would do it. I mean, that's how a lot of us ended up coaching soccer teams or doing, whatever needed to be done, right? So if we'd like to guilt some more parents into doing what you're doing, how does an adult get involved in the Boy Scouts?
So any adult can register to become a leader. There is training required. We do require youth protection training so that all of our youth are safe. And then they also have to do some leader training, which we provide online. We also have training in person through the Grand Canyon Council, which is located in Phoenix. And the willingness to serve is all you need.
That's great. What's the time commitment? How much time do you spend as a scout?
Only an hour a week.
That's great. Okay.
Is our joke. An hour a week per kid in the world. No.
Yeah.
Really, the time commitment is as much as you want. We have some parents that just help out with an outing. We have some parents like me who I work, I'm on the committee for my son's troop. I work on the district level. I do adult training. And then I'm also the camp director.
So how often is Cub Scout Day Camp? Is this a once a month, once a year, once a week?
No.
Okay.
So we have a winter day camp that runs 2 sessions that are 3 days each in the winter break from school. Then we have a spring day camp that runs during spring break, 2 sessions, 3 days. And then we have a summer day camp that runs end of May through like the 3rd week of June. We have 4 sessions for that. And we do that one at night because Phoenix, because we do it at South Mountain at the Herd Scout Pueblo.
Oh, okay.
And Phoenix in the summer gets a little warm for our
I've
kids.
heard that, yeah.
So we incorporate water in that one a lot.
Good. So if, and that specific program is for the Cubs, which are ages what?
Kindergarten through 5th grade.
Okay. So if I'm the parent of a kindergarten through 5th grade young man or young women, and I think they'd enjoy, a few days doing great outdoor activities, learning great skills, I should contact the Boy Scouts of America.
You can go to beascout.org
Okay.
or just Google Grand Canyon Council.
beascout.org or Grand Canyon Council.
But we have programs for kindergarten through 25 years of age.
Wow, okay.
So we have a wonderful presence in the community here in Mesa. Just in the East Valley alone, we have over 20,000 registered scouts. And we made over 1,200 Eagle Scouts last year that serviced the community over 172,000 hours.
You know, most of the really, you can drive all over Mesa and see Eagle Scout projects everywhere. I mean, the impact that that's had, the volunteer service hours that have been delivered to the city of Mesa through the Boy Scouts of America is really second to none. So on behalf of the community, thank you for all that Scouts do for the city.
Well, thank you.
And thank you for being a volunteer mom that got, roped into being a Scout leader.
Well, I think it's a great program. It's very character driven, and the kids that go through the program, they come out better individuals.
Absolutely.
More productive members of society and good kids. So.
Well, thank you for your service in scouting and in the community, and also for all that Scouts does. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Amy a big hand. Thank you so much.
In Scouts,
oh, you're right.
We shake with the other hand.
Thank you very
Thank
much. I should have known that. I am a former Scout. Whenever you're at a Scout activity, people are putting out their left hand, and it kind of takes a while to realize. When you're a Boy Scout, the Boy Scout handshake is left-handed because it's closer to your heart. That seems like a nice idea, doesn't it? All right, thank you very much, Amy. Next, okay, so you guys, this is every month we do the top 10 list. And sometimes I groan when I see the top 10 list because it's a little corny and it's not always hilarious. And there's some theme music for the top 10 list. Can we hear it? Yeah, there we go. So it's the top 10 list. This goes back to David Letterman days. Remember that? The Late Show with David Letterman on NBC before he became a CBS guy? All right, so drum roll. The theme this month for the top 10 list is, and it kind of takes a little explanation. When English language movies from the United States are released abroad, they have to obviously go through translation. And so sometimes the movie title is they get it dead on, or sometimes it needs no translation. But oftentimes when you translate a movie title to another language, it just doesn't work very well. Okay, it's lost in translation, as they say. So here, in no particular order, are the top 10 movie names lost in translation. I should have just read the slide. All right, number 10. This is the movie Ghostbusters that was retitled in China, The Superpower Dare Die Team. If you say that over and over again, it kind of grows on you, right? The Superpower Dare Die Team. And this is the remake of the Ghostbusters with an all-female cast. So I never saw that one. Maybe this is the appropriate title. Number 9, Die Hard with a Vengeance. We all loved that movie. In Denmark, you went to see Die Hard Mega Hard. You can kind of see where they would come up with, vengeance is mega somehow in Danish, I guess. Okay, one of my all-time favorite movies, the Airplane movie, has been retitled in Germany, The Unbelievable Trip in a Wacky Aeroplane. I tried to, my kids, I'm always using lines from Airplane. Am I the only one so surely you must be joking, right? And I guess I picked the wrong day to stop smoking, right? Anyway, if you haven't seen Airplane, ladies and gentlemen, you don't know American culture, so make sure you do that. Number 7, the movie Knocked Up, kind of an interesting title. If you're in China, this might actually be a better title, don't you think? The One Night Big Belly. Sounds like, you could have gone to a Chinese buffet as well and had the same outcome. The One Night Big Belly. All right, Dragnet. And this looks like it's actually a good movie. I don't know why I never saw this. It's got Dan Aykroyd and a young Tom Hanks. You got to be old to remember Dragnet. This was like a 1960s TV series, right? So in Germany, they call it the Floppy Coppers Don't Bite movie. That is a great example of lost in translation, isn't it? All right, number 5. And I'm a Matrix fan, but part of it's a great title. I think I'd fall asleep just reading the title to the movie. It's The Young People Who Traverse Dimensions While Wearing Sunglasses. Who would buy a ticket to that movie? Nobody, right? I don't remember there being dimensions in. I mean, we could have a long debate over whether there were dimensions in Matrix. All right, number 4, and this one I like. Annie Hall in Germany is called Urban Neurotic. That is actually a better name. If Woody Allen had heard that name, he would have retitled Annie Hall, Urban Neurotic. All right, number 3. The Austin Powers movie, The Spy Who Shagged Me, in Malaysia is called Austin Powers, The Spy Who Behaved Very Nicely Around Me. Again, I don't know that I'd be compelled to want to see that movie. All right, so this movie I have never heard of, I have to say. It's called Army of Darkness, and in Japan, though, it would be Captain Supermarket. I picture a whole different movie. Captain Supermarket sounds like it could be funny, but I don't think it has anything to do with this particular movie. And here, the number 1 Lost in Translation movie title, the actual movie Lost in Translation was called Meetings and Failures in Meetings. So the irony of doing a poor job of translating the title of Lost in Translation apparently was lost on them. All right, so those are our top 10 lists. Thank you very much. Bob, you outdid yourself. That was one of the best top 10 lists I've seen in a long time. All right, next our segment, it's time for This Day in Mesa Morning Live. This is the little trivia show or contest we have to, test your knowledge of how close you've been paying attention to Mesa Morning Live guests in the past. So please welcome to the stage the segment sponsor for this, Mike Pickard of Ocean Air. Mike. Welcome, good to see you. Okay, Mike, so let's first get over, tell us about Ocean Air. I assume this is like a...
How do you do that?
What's that?
How do
it's
you
bright,
do that?
isn't it? Yeah. So Ocean Air, I assume this is like a scented candle business, or...
Well, we make you comfortable like that, but
okay.
We're the best air conditioning company
Air
in
conditioning,
Mesa.
oh, okay. I'm sorry. So thanks. So but when my air conditioner has a problem, I'm calling Ocean Air, right?
You're calling Ocean Air.
Okay, thank you. And
when you want to be comfortable, you come to the ocean. That's all you have to remember.
Oh, is there a jingle that goes along with that? Let's work on that for next time.
You don't want that from me.
All right. All right, so as we know, this is the quiz show about Mesa Morning Live. You have a special prize. I see you walked in with you today.
A $50 gift card to the Mesa Chamber member Texas Roadhouse. So.
Wow, okay. So this is real money, ladies and gentlemen. You want to do this. All right, so the way this works is we're going to pick a name out of a card. Maybe, should we do that now? And so we know who we're dealing with?
Yeah, we're actually going to draw 3 names today.
3?
Because the Mesa Art Center is giving away 2 tickets, or 2 passes for Mark Cordes' show on October 10th. So if you haven't seen The Spouse Whisperer, you need to. He's hilarious.
Okay, so earlier, right before the show, I drew a card, and it was a little embarrassing because I kind of picked, pointing to the fence before you hit a home run. I kind of called it, and then I pulled the card out, and I promise this is totally at random. First person is from Mark Community Resources, Jeff Bayer. Are we going to have all these folks come up on the stage?
We'll just have the first guy come up and answer the trivia question, and you get
Okay.
this. And the next 2 will be the winners of tickets to The Spouse Whisperer.
Okay, so here comes Jeff Bayer. Please make your way to the stage, Jeff. And the people getting tickets to The Spouse Whisperer are Bianca Morales from Residence Inn Marriott. Congratulations, Bianca. You're going to enjoy that show. And the third and final winner is from Dignity Health, Julie Graham.
Hey.
All right, congratulations, Julie.
So keep those cards out, and somebody from the Art Center will
Okay.
be contacting them.
They're right there,
Perfect.
ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and
Come
let's
on,
welcome
Speedy.
Jeff. Hi, Jeff, come on up. Good to see you. This is going to be one of the proudest moments of your life, Jeff. Don't worry. All right.
We've been to this rodeo.
All right. So, Jeff, the way this game works, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's okay that you don't know everything about this because you get to pick somebody to help you. Okay, you get
Lifeline right there.
you got a lifeline. You know who it's going to be. Okay, and they don't work for the for Channel 11 or for the Mesa Chamber. Okay, all right. All right. Do they have a job?
Most of the time, yeah.
Okay, all right. So take it away.
All right. So the last time Mayor Giles hosted Mesa Morning Live, this person was the featured guest. Who is it? You were there? I know you were there.
My lifeline, Norm.
So this would have been at Mesa Community College. I'm going to give you a hint. Is that all right?
Yeah. It was so long ago. It was at least
It was like last month.
30 days ago.
That's right.
Your lifeline can help you more than he did. That wasn't very useful.
That's true. That was pretty weak.
Come on, Lifeline, come on.
Well, that's a little, I mean, you don't have to, you can help him. You don't have to like give him.
We like less subtle. It speeds things along. So thank you for that.
Yeah. You could have said he was an elected official or. All right. So what the answer to the question is?
It was our person that counts the votes.
Yes.
Adrian Fontes.
Adrian Fontes, that's right. You got it right.
Some people would call that the county recorder, but.
The county recorder. That's right.
But then I have, the guy that counts the votes.
All right, well, thank you very much and congratulations. You picked a good lifeline.
It's your honor, Your Honor.
Well, sometimes. Hey, good to see you. Thanks. Bring some candles next time and give those away, man. Just kidding. We all need a good, if you live in Arizona, you've got a refrigeration repair guy, right? So if you don't, there you go, right there. All right, next, we're speaking of featured guests. Last month it was Adrian Fontes. This month, we are going to blow you away with 3 featured guests. Let me please welcome to the stage from the Mesa Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, Craig Lohman, Shannon Hines, and Jane Hansen. Thank you. Come on in. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thanks for letting us do this to you. We appreciate it. Well, I think we all know that Mesa Morning Live is a production of the Mesa Chamber of Commerce. Channel 11 helps out with that, obviously. But the Mesa Chamber is an organization that really deserves more notoriety and a spotlight put on it in the community because you do such great work. You partner with the city and all other organizations in such a great way, and you're such a valuable resource for the business community, both large and small. So thank you for your willingness to be leaders in that great organization. Why don't, if you don't mind, let's just start. Please tell us about your name and the business that you represent. Craig?
Yep, my name is Craig Lohman. I think a little bit of personal background. I grew up in southwestern Michigan, fell in love with the Valley of the Sun, moved here in the mid-'80s, attended Arizona State University, go Sun Devils.
Forks up.
Big game this week.
Yes.
Fell in love and married my high school sweetheart. We have 6 kids. About my business, I'm representing Lohman Company. We're a CPA firm based in Mesa. We just recently celebrated our 19th year in Mesa. Thank you. Looking forward to number 20 coming up. We work with individuals and businesses, typically closely held, privately owned businesses, navigate the complex waters of tax and accounting services. So.
Great. One thing I need to figure out, you came out to ASU, and then you married your high school sweetheart from Michigan.
From Arizona, actually. She was the first girl that I met in high school here when I moved out here.
Oh, okay. So you did high school in Arizona?
Yes, I went to Saguaro High School in Scottsdale.
Saguaro. My wife went to Saguaro. We can talk
Sabercats.
later about that. Yes, okay. Thank you. Tell us, what's your story?
Yes, I am Shannon Hines. I manage a Guild Mortgage office. I got involved with the chamber in 2004 when they did my ribbon cutting in Mesa. I grew up in Mesa, love it here, and I met my spouse at ASU. Forks up. Super excited about this game this weekend. My spouse is a Mesa firefighter, so we have a lot of roots here. As far as Guild Mortgage, we've been around since 1960, great company. I am super lucky to manage the people I have in the office.
Great, thank you. And thanks to your husband, and thanks for supporting a Mesa firefighter. We appreciate it. Jane, tell us about the hospital and about yourself.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I am from Boston, Massachusetts originally. You can talk about your football team, I won't. Anyway, it's never popular. Left there early adulthood, went out to the Pacific Northwest, and I moved here 7 years ago from Oregon. And I work for Dignity Health, and Dignity Health, through my organization, is expanding its footprint right now in Arizona. So Arizona General Hospital Phoenix is the parent company for 2 hospitals. one on the west side, and then we just opened less than a year ago, been about 10 months, Arizona General Hospital Mesa. It's at the corner of Elliott and Ellsworth, 50-bed community hospital. There is a brochure with some information about our hospital that hopefully you got when you came in, or it's in the bags. So we are thriving and feel very supported by the city of Mesa and the community surrounding us, and just thrilled to be open and providing service and helping us to expand our ability to carry out our mission here in Arizona.
Well, that's great. So, Jane, do you apologize for being from Boston and not having a good football team?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have a wonderful football team, but people don't usually want me to talk about it much.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I guess you had heard that there is a reasonably good football team.
They're my second team.
Yes.
Love them too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, so I do want let's talk a little bit more about the Arizona General Hospital.
Yeah.
Folks have driven by that. This is current. It's on Elliott Road, and it's a kind of the development hasn't gotten around there yet, so it just sticks out like a sore thumb. But it's really a
beautiful
big,
thumb.
Beautiful sore thumb. Yes, thank you so much. So how many beds is it? And in just a few short years, it's going to be crowded. Buildings are going to be all around it. We're not going to see it anymore.
Right. It is 50 beds. We do have a 4-bed critical care unit. We have 4 very big operating rooms, including a hybrid room. When we equip that room, we'll be able to do cardiac catheterizations and more interventional radiology there. 14-bed emergency department, and we provide quite a few services. No OB, because we're building that big tower less than 10 miles away at Mercy Gilbert, and no pediatrics, though we have a lot of kiddos come through our emergency department. We are getting busier and busier, so we think we'll be opening the 3rd floor this winter. And let me just make a plug. We're already seeing influenza A, so please get your flu shot soon. And we do our first robotic surgery in the operating room next week.
Wow,
so
very
exciting.
cool. Well, that's such a fast-growing area of Mesa between
Yes.
Eastmark and Cadence and all the homes out there. I mean,
Yes.
we really, you feel a very critical need in having a hospital in that part of Mesa.
We went to an event last Friday at Eastmark, and there were over 1,000 people there.
Sure.
So it's a growing area, wonderful families there.
Oh, you bet. Well, so I remember I started a law practice in Mesa back in 1995, and I think really one of the first checks I wrote was to the Mesa Chamber of Commerce, because I realized the importance of networking and of being involved in the business community. So thank you, and so I've been a member ever since. But tell me, what's the value in being a member of the Mesa Chamber of Commerce? When I make that commitment and I say, okay, I'm going to do this, why? What's going to come back to me as a result of doing that?
I think there's so many things that can come back. You know, the mission statement of the Chamber is to improve, protect, and advocate for businesses. And they do all 3 of those things very well. This show is one highlight of that, to really showcase members in the Chamber and what's going on in the community and educate people of what might be of concerns to them as business owners.
Now, there is some initial, I think you guys are particularly involved in the new member orientation. Is that right? What happens when I'm a new member and I get oriented?
Go ahead.
Shannon?
So as a new member, you go to our new member orientation where you get a rundown of all the benefits, all of the events, everything available to you to be active in the Mesa Chamber.
Great. Okay, a moment ago we were talking about an event called Aviation Fascination. I think that's a good example of the type of community engagement that the Chamber does. Tell us a little bit about those, maybe that particular event or events similar to that.
Yeah, so Aviation Fascination is coming up. We heard about it earlier with the Heliponents. That's fantastic. They're hosting it. There are a number of events that the Chamber puts on throughout the year. We have the State of the City event, which I think we know the main guest of that.
I've been to that, yes.
You've been there before. And so those events are made to allow members to come out and interact with other businesses and learn what else is available to them.
So you have events for members, but you also have events like the Aviation Fascination that are open to the public as well. So it's really something you do for the community, but another opportunity to maybe highlight some of your members. Is that right?
And I would just add, I mean, I think we do 400 or so events a year at the chamber. It's a very busy chamber. I think that the benefits of it vary depending on your type of business and your size of business, but there is something in there for all of us. I know as a relatively new member at the chamber, it's been really important for us as we opened our hospital it's a bridge for us to the community, and really has allowed me to get to know a lot of the other business leaders in the community. And we also really try to take advantage of the public policy and advocacy there that's offered. And then the Leadership Institute, we're looking forward to having some of our leaders go through that and learn more about the community.
I'm glad you said that, because there are, within the chamber, there's different committees and different kind of groups of businesses. One of the committees I really appreciate at the Mesa Chamber is the Education Committee, because you guys do a great job of partnering with the school, supporting our K-12 districts, but also higher education and early learning. So we've got just a great group of folks on this Education Committee addressing some pressing city issues. For example, I hate to bring this up, but we've been experiencing some teenage suicide issues in Mesa. And the group that is at the tip of the spear, asking the questions and trying to marshal the resources to respond to that, is the Chamber Education Committee. Tell us what else. Tell us a little more about the Education Committee.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about the teen suicide as well. So suicide is the #1 cause of death for children ages 10 to 14 in this country, and the #2 cause of death for individuals aged 15 to 35. In Arizona, I think we're second behind Utah for teen suicide, and we're seeing what I guess, I hate to use this word, but it feels like a crisis right now in the East Valley with our most recent loss yesterday. So the Education Committee has taken a lead role for the chamber, working with other entities in the city of Mesa to really develop plans for awareness. The chamber is going to co-sponsor with the United Way an event in October, raising community awareness for this, and I believe the governor just signed a bill to put more money into the schools for education. So I think for me personally, and for my company and for our community, the first step is awareness and really understanding what's going on, and then joining into places where it makes sense in this space to help.
Yes, and again, it's a somber topic, but it's nothing more important. The absolute worst thing we could do is avoid talking about the topic.
Right.
Like you say, the awareness is such a critical part of this. So thank you for that event in October. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are around a teen, adolescent mental health is a crisis in our country, and it's also that's true in Mesa, Arizona. So please don't just assume that kids are okay. Get involved and ask questions and talk and see what we can do to address this horrible trend that we're seeing. Back to the chamber. I mean, we've got, I know, the thing I love about the chamber is you've got businesses like Boeing and Apple and literally, and Google. I mean, the biggest companies in the world are members of the Mesa Chamber of Commerce. And then you come to a chamber event and that's a one person, a guy who operates a business out of his glove box in his car, right? So, I mean, we go from large to small. And so what is it that you offer to businesses like Boeing and MD Helicopter and Apple? Why would they join? And then why would the guy who, has a pickup truck join?
I think that's interesting. When we joined, my first concern with the Chamber of Commerce, a lot of times they have stereotypes. You think they're just the insurance agent, the real estate broker that's getting together. We joined almost 10 years ago. And one thing that happened to me, it actually opened my eyes about the city of Mesa and how big it is, number one, the land size, as well as the type of businesses which you referred to. You've got the extremely large, well-known names around the world, and then you have smaller companies as well. And the chamber, what I found is it can blend all those. It offers things for each type of business. Mm-hmm. The large businesses, they get more involved with the advocacy side of things, trying to make sure that their businesses are protected and their employees are protected for what they're doing. And so they're driven a lot with the government affairs committees and those type of events. The smaller businesses and middle-sized businesses, like ours as well, is to get involved and get to know other people in the community. Sure. And the reality is that this community becomes your second family as you start to know people around. And the city Mesa is big, but when you get to know other business owners, it's a small community. And it's fun to be able to see people around the valley whether you're going out to dinner with family or whatever it might be.
Well, and there's another great reason. I mean, it's a great place to make friends.
Right.
I mean, when I go to a chamber event, I just really enjoy it because what you see is a lot of folks who care about the community, who are giving of themselves to come out and be engaged and involved and interact and help. The Industry and Defense Council, that's one of the groups within the chamber that's really very successful, doing a great job. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, the Industry and Defense Council was originally kind of spearheaded by Senator John McCain, who talked to Sally, our fearless leader, and said it would be a great idea to kind of organize the defense contractors and industry businesses in Mesa into a group that the United States government could be able to tap into for knowledge and information, what's happening with the economy and their businesses. Those businesses, you talked about a few of them. You've got Boeing and Namo Tally and the likes that are on the large side. You've got local businesses like Gecko and Phoenix Logistics that have fell in there. And they've all come apart and do different events frequently throughout the year with a number of the guidance of the senators that we have in town, so in the state, with Senator McSally and Senator Sinema.
Yeah, I think sometimes people forget what a big part of the Mesa economy is composed of industry. I mean, defense contractors, aerospace contractors. I mean, really world-class, huge businesses. And I've gone to events with the Industry and Defense Council where the speaker was the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Mm-hmm. I mean, they do a great job of interacting with the congressional delegation and really at a very high level. So that's great, but they're kind of swinging the pendulum to the other side, talking about the small businesses. Tell me about the Capital Opportunity Program. This is another really great idea.
So this is something new that the Chamber has put together, a Capital Opportunity Program, and another organization they have is the Mesa Financial Network, both of which are related to the banking and finance world. The Capital Opportunity Program has put together resources with some sponsor banks to try to say, what could we do to help businesses try to find those small business needs, maybe for lending or different avenues they could go down. And so Gateway Bank has been spearheading that organization, which is a chamber member, and trying to get that to grow and allow the central point of contact for businesses looking for possibly money to say what their best avenue is, whether it's small business SBA type lending or some other kind of lending they might be able to get, and help them prepare their information to get qualified for that.
So if you are a very small business, one of the major hurdles you have to get over is getting a loan, right? Occasionally, and sometimes you walk into a big worldwide bank and you say, I want a loan of this size to do something rather modest. And they say, why are you here? We don't deal with people like you. Maybe they don't say that, but you get that feeling, right? And so this is a great alternative for people that are starting things up or on maybe their part-time business and they need a little bit of understanding and people looking at their tax returns and not looking for reasons not to make the loan, right? So what a great opportunity for small businesses. Well, great. Like I say, I really have appreciated I've gotten a lot out of being a chamber member, and I'm sure that's true for you, or you wouldn't be, CPAs are busy people. They don't hang out at Mesa Morning Live unless they're getting something out of it. So thank you for your commitment to the chamber, and thank you to the chamber for all the great work you do in our community. We appreciate it. Okay, thank you very much. Big hand for the Chamber of Commerce, you guys. Thank you very much, Greg. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thanks for keeping us well. Appreciate it. Oh yes, that's right. I've got one last plug for the flu shot, you guys. And I know we're coming out of summer, so the idea that it's cold and flu season still seems a little bit off, right? But no, it's September, and flu shots are free everywhere. So do yourself a favor and go get a flu shot. Well, you guys, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity I've had to fill in for Mark today. I think we had some really interesting folks. Again, thank you to the Mesa Arts Center for letting us come in and use this beautiful facility. If you're not a regular patron of the Mesa Arts Center, then you're blowing it. This is one of the best reasons to live in Mesa, Arizona, so please take full advantage of that. And let me give a last thank you to our great guests. We had the Mesa Arts Center Director, Cindy, get the name right, Cindy Orenstein. Our community spotlight was Amy Mankey from the Boy Scouts of America. It was great to hear more about heliponents, and our great board members from the Mesa Chamber, Craig Lohman, Jane Hansen, and Shannon Hines. I want to thank again Artistic Touch Catering for providing a great breakfast to the folks that are here this morning. The great folks at Channel 11 to do such a great job of producing this and the other content on Channel 11. We really do, if you're not watching Channel 11, you need to change that too. Go to the Mesa Arts Center, and when you're not at the Mesa Arts Center, watch Channel 11, okay? Because there's some really good stuff on Channel 11. Also, if you want to see more of Mesa Morning Live, you can see past episodes at mesamorninglive.com. Don't forget that Mark Cordes is going to be back here at the Mesa Arts Center with his Spouse Whisperer show, October 10th through 13th. Please come out and support that event that also benefits the Mesa Chamber. And I hope you just have a great day. So thanks for being with us, and enjoy a beautiful day in Mesa, Arizona. Thank you.